A family from Birmingham have had their home transformed thanks to a charity and the local community. 3-year-old Emily Cassidy has an aggressive form of cancer, but all thoughts of DIY were put on the back burner while she undergoes treatment. Well, today the family returned home to a rather different looking house. Tom Turrell is there this evening. Tell us more, Tom.
Nick, this is a story that will really pull at the heartstrings. In fact, it's two stories that will pull at the heartstrings. On the one hand, you have a 3-year-old girl who has been fighting for her life. On the other, you have a local community who are pulling together for one of their own. And at 1 o'clock this afternoon, those two stories came together.
The Cassidy family only left the country for 8 weeks so 3-year-old Emily could receive life-saving cancer treatment in the United States.
Wow, look, Emily. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Whilst they were away, their house was renovated by complete strangers. This is what the property in Washwood Heath in Birmingham used to look like.
It was very unsafe. We didn't have a kitchen. We was washing up in the bathroom. The walls were falling down, the roof was broke, the ceiling in the front bedroom was leaking. It was just not safe for her to be in while she was having her treatment because she was in every week with an infection. It was like somebody had just put a pin in my heart and just popped it. It's just so overwhelming, and the feelings that were rushing through my body was like, oh my God, this is ours, mine and my kids, somewhere to come home from the hospital to when she's sick, somewhere nice for us to live.
The Cassidys were flown to the States by the NHS because the specialist cancer treatment Emily needs isn't available in this country. But before they left, a family friend contacted a local charity to see if there was anything they could do about the state of their home.
I've been overwhelmed by the support, and this just highlights that us Brummies, we are a great community, and actually if we all just take a little time out and make a little bit of an effort, look at what we can achieve, because one day, we never know what's going to happen to us.
Were it not for the kindness of strangers, the work would have cost around £60,000, money Mum Lucy simply doesn't have.
This young kid's involved, it always touches the heartstrings, and here was a young family who, through no fault of their own, were going through some really bad times. So without even thinking about it, I rang her up and said, yeah, we're in. What do you want us to do? So she said, well, you need to see the house first. I said, no, we're in, we'll definitely be in. So we met the next day and she took me around the house, and it suddenly dawned on me just how much work was involved.
Emily's story is a sad one, but from the saddest of circumstance has come a tale of true generosity.
Well, you heard from her there, but Georgie Mosley is the founder of the charity, which did and organised a lot of this work here at the house, and she joins me now. Georgie, when did you first learn about the problems the Cassidy family were experiencing?
26th of April, a friend of the Cassidys came into the Help Harry Drop-in Cancer Support Centre, and that's when I first heard and had to come and do a home visit straight away. So
you popped out, you did a recce, and what did you find?
I was horrified, if I'm honest, to see how this poor family were living. They were embarrassed about the living conditions, which they shouldn't have been, they couldn't help it just because they got no money. As a society, we shouldn't be letting people live like that in this day and age.
And how hard was it to find volunteers that would give up their time for free?
Well, thankfully, my son has left an amazing legacy, and immediately that night I walked out quite shocked and thought, what have I just done? How am I going to do this? Put an appeal out on social media, and so many wonderful people, including Col Mortan, came through and offered to help us transform as much as the house as we could.
And how do you feel now, just briefly?
Really proud of the community, actually, and I speak on behalf of every person that's been involved to see the transformation of the whole house.
Okay. Well, Nick, I can tell you that the proton beam therapy has been completed, but we won't know whether it's worked until further tests are done in October.
Well, let's hope everything's okay. Tom, thank you. Well, the sun keeps coming, doesn't it? Even though this is